Just now, the Justice Department has filed a motion in the Southern District of Florida to unseal a search warrant and property receipt relating to a court-approved search that the FBI conducted earlier this week. That search was of premises located in Florida belonging to the former president. The department did not make any public statements on the day of the search. The former president publicly confirmed the search that evening, as is his right. Copies of both the warrant and the FBI property receipt were provided on the day of the search to the former president's counsel, who was on site during the search. The search warrant was authorized by a federal court upon the required finding of probable cause.
There you have it, Attorney General Merrick Garland making it clear that he is filing a motion to unseal the warrant that allowed for FBI agents to raid the Mar-a-Lago residence of Donald Trump. And the reason why he's doing that is because there's public interest. There are calls for more information, especially considering Republicans have run with this narrative of it being nothing more than a politically motivated witch hunt. So it's in Trump's best interest, right, for this to be unsealed so the American people can see what's really transpiring here. Except Trump allies, according to the New York Times, are discussing the possibility of challenging the Justice Department's motion to unseal the Mar-a-Lago search warrant. Why?
Why? It's a witch hunt, right? Don't you want to say, oh, the warrant's got nothing in it? Oh, look at this, they're looking for meatball recipes. It's ridiculous. It's totally useless. So hashtag show the warrant.
Show the warrant.
Show the warrant.
But they won't. In fact, they have contacted outside lawyers about helping them, according to a person briefed on the discussions. Interesting that they don't want us to see the warrants. It's almost as if this isn't a witch hunt and Trump actually broke the law and was not forthright about the type of classified documents he might be hiding in his Mar-a-Lago residence. Now, with that said, we've learned more about the timeline that led to this raid, namely the fact that Trump had received a subpoena 2 months ago, basically saying, listen, we know that there are additional potentially classified documents in your residence. We're giving you a chance to hand them over. This is a subpoena calling on you to hand them over. He failed to do that. And since he failed to do that, a federal judge in Florida signed off on the search warrant necessary to conduct the raid, and the raid happened on Monday of this week. And apparently there is also reporting from Newsweek indicating that there was an FBI informant, potentially someone very, very close to Trump, because not a lot of people knew about Trump's safe, including where Trump's safe was, and the authorities were able to get into that safe. And so here is Trump's former acting chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney, talking about that on CNN.
This is someone with knowledge inside who told the feds that there was additional material at Mar-a-Lago, directed them where it should be, clearly was concerned enough to tell them this, information they should have besides those 15 boxes of material they got in the winter. Does that change your mind? Is that now sufficient when you have someone actually aligned with him drawing the attention of the feds to these documents?
No, it's certainly worthwhile, and it's certainly worth noting. There's no question that it would be valid on getting a search warrant, or at least part of getting a search warrant.
How close do you think that person in Trump's orbit would have had to be to know these details about where these documents were?
Really, that's a good question. Really close. I didn't even know there was a safe at Mar-a-Lago, and I was the chief of staff for 15 months. So this would be someone who was handling things on day to day, who knew where documents were. So that would be somebody very close inside the president. My guess is there's probably 6 or 8 people who had that kind of information.
So the fact that there's someone close to Trump who served as an FBI informant has led to a lot of paranoia within Trump's circles, which is a lot of fun. We'll get to that in a moment. But Cenk, jump in.
Yeah, so first on Trump, look at the sense of entitlement. If the federal government told me, hey, you have some documents that we want, and we really want to get them, right? I would hand them over, because I'd be scared that they're gonna break into my house and et cetera, et cetera. Plus, I would cooperate. There's no reason for me not to cooperate with law enforcement. Hey, we'd like to see your taxes. Okay, sure, have a look, right? You'd like to see this or that. Okay, what's the big deal, right? No, this guy feels like, no, I'm not allowed to take classified documents, break the law, a law that I passed, and you get a 5-year prison sentence for. And no, you're not allowed to see them. No, I just want to destroy the evidence. Like the sense of entitlement is unbelievable. Again, the right wing, infinite delusion, right? If an ally of mine, pick a random one, let's say Ro Khanna, well, the FBI raids his home and he won't give over classified documents that he's keeping in a safe in his basement, I'd go, I wonder what Ro's up to, right? I wouldn't be like, oh my God, it's a witch hunt. I know for sure he's innocent. I'd be like, I don't know, I'd like to see the evidence, right? But for them, they look at it and go, no, I don't need to see the goddamn evidence. No, I'm positive that Trump is perfectly innocent. Trump is the one guy you're positive is perfectly innocent and you don't need to see evidence. Fascinating. Okay, so in terms of the Merrick Garland move, I love it. Like calling his bluff, okay?
Yes.
You're saying the FBI is doing this thing and it's Gestapo and they're going to plant evidence and you're saying all these lunatic things. I'm ready to show the warrant. You want to show the warrant? You know, Donald Trump has a history of hiding things that are damaging to him. You know, he still hides his high school grades. I'm not joking, you can look it up. And he still hides his college grades, etc., because he's worried that people are gonna think he's a dum-dum, but because he's a dum-dum.
He says he has a very big brain.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So if you have such a big brain, well, why don't you show us your grades? Why don't you show us the warrant? So he never wants to show you anything because in his mind, he's pathetic and he doesn't want anybody to find out.
Exactly.
So that's exactly what's happening here.
So let's get to the paranoia part of this because that's fun.
Oh, that's super rich.
Because think about it. Someone informed the FBI about the existence of additional classified documents that Trump was supposed to hand over, okay, to the National Archives, and he failed to do so. And so here's what we know based on the paranoia that's transpiring within Trump circles as a result of this news. This summer, Trump has asked close associates if they think his communications are being monitored by the feds or, per his phrasing, by Biden.
Yeah, or
yeah,
what do you mean, Brandon?
By the way, Biden, listen, Biden's napping. Okay, like the idea that Biden is like dun 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 dun, like he's napping.
Biden's never seen dun 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 in his whole life. Are you crazy? The one thing that Trump got right was Sleepy Joe.
100%. My dad, my 75-year-old, 77-year-old dad says that now. He calls him Sleepy Joe, not because I call him Sleepy Joe at home, but because he heard Trump say it once, and he's like, yeah, Biden is kind of sleepy.
Like so, Biden woke up from his nap. It was like my Republican friends were like, no, it's time to get Trump, laser eyes. Come on, are we talking about the same guy?
All right, let's keep going. As a source close to Trump describes it to Rolling Stone, quote, he has asked me and others, do you think our phones are tapped? Now, it gets better though. One Trump advisor tells Rolling Stone that since Tuesday, MAGA loyalists have been asking to pass their suspicions to Trump, telling him not to trust certain individuals and to investigate them for possible contacts with federal authorities. Quote, I'm getting a lot of messages saying things like, this guy must be the informant, and others calling for the former president to start doing phone checks of his staff, says the advisor. To be honest, a lot of it feels like people trying to screw over the ones they don't like in Trump world. And so the real question is, what's really behind this? What's really going on here? Because someone close to Trump is apparently tipping the FBI and the Justice Department. And my theory, my prediction, is that it's Melania Trump. Why?
Ooh, drums.
Two reasons why. Number one reason is she clearly did not like being first lady, did not like having to live in the White House. In fact, for a huge portion of Trump's administration, she was living in New York. And then the second reason, well, I'll just help you visualize it. Let's watch.
So there we have it, the president greeting French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte. He's obviously there, joined by First Lady Melania Trump. I want to bring.
Your administration and may.
Nah, come on, it's Melania. That's it.
No, I had not thought of that. Hashtag genius. Somebody's saying it. all of a sudden the internet's saying it. Okay, if this turns out to be a hashtag Anna was right, oh my God, mind blown.
Oh my God, it would be the biggest scandal in American history.
Okay, I'm gonna add to your theory. He randomly said, like, oh, they rifled through Melania's closets, the FBI did.
Yeah,
And
she's not complaining about it.
No. Maybe they did that to throw them off the scent.
Maybe.
Like, oh, we're targeting Melania as well. She's not our source, okay? Because look, they gotta know that there's a safe. Like Mulvaney said, there aren't that many people that know that he's got a safe down there. I thought one of the kids, I thought maybe it's Jared Kushner who was doing it, but Melania is a better theory. That's an excellent theory. She hates him. That's super obvious. I mean, look, we showed you the tape. But beyond, just walk off, get out. Okay.
Gone.
My favorite is this one, the SWAT. Get out of here. Okay. So she would have the incentive to do it. She doesn't give a damn about him. My God, if they had any kind of evidence against her, she'd be like, oh, right away, I turn evidence. Right away. Okay. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Okay,
that's just a prediction, by the way.
Of course, it's a prediction. So one last thing, guys. Seriously, Trump is a slight defense of Trump. He's paranoid, like, oh, Biden's wiretapping me, and he's like, it's no, that's crazy talk. But like, he's right to be quote unquote paranoid. Someone in his inner circle is selling him out. There's no question about that. There's multiple sources that say yes, there's somebody at within Trump's circle that is the source for the FBI knowing that he's hiding these classified documents and where he's hiding them, right? So it's not really paranoid if you actually do have someone who's turned on you in your inner circle. I'm looking forward to that dissension. It's going to be wonderful. Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.